When faced with unfair criticism, Stoicism advises us to see it as an opportunity to become stronger and demonstrate our integrity. Instead of reacting hastily or defensively, we should try to stay calm, listen to the feedback objectively, and find valuable information from it. This helps us clearly distinguish between useful criticism and those that are just negative opinions not based on facts. One of the core principles of Stoicism is that we can only control ourselves, especially how we react and respond to difficult situations. When we are criticized, if we let our emotions take over and react hastily, this can make the situation worse. Instead, we need to learn to master our emotions, stay calm, and not be influenced by biased judgments. More importantly, Stoicism teaches that our integrity does not need to be demonstrated by hasty words or actions. The quality of our work and our calm, thoughtful responses speak for themselves. When we maintain the right attitude and work responsibly, our accomplishments will speak for themselves. Remember, we cannot change what others think of us, but we can adjust how we respond and maintain a positive attitude. It is important not to let criticism shake your self-confidence, but instead to see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Over time, those around you will recognize your integrity and patience, and respect will naturally build. So instead of defending yourself or blaming others, focus on what you can control, your reactions and attitude. This is the key to overcoming challenges peacefully and growing stronger. Keeping quiet in the midst of boasting is one of the valuable lessons that Stoicism teaches us. In such situations, Stoicism encourages restraint and asserts that silence is not passivity, but a strategic choice. By remaining silent, we can remain calm, listen, and observe others without letting boasting distract us. Being silent in these situations does not mean that you lack confidence or have nothing to share. In fact, it is a way of demonstrating deep confidence and understanding. When you stay silent in the face of boasting, you do not need to confront or prove your worth with words. Instead, you demonstrate patience, respect, and self-control, qualities that are not easily underestimated. Listening and sincerely acknowledging the success of others is also an important part of maintaining calm. Instead of comparing or feeling pressured, listening to other people's success helps you show respect for them and strengthens the relationship. This is how you show maturity, because you do not need to prove yourself through comparison but just focus on your own path. Besides, Stoicism also emphasizes that your actions will speak louder than words. Instead of responding to bragging with eloquent sentences, let your achievements and qualities speak for themselves. Your actions, perseverance, and constant effort will clearly demonstrate your value without having to use words to argue or fight. When you focus on developing yourself and achieving your personal goals, others will recognize your true value through what you do, not through your words. By keeping quiet, you also demonstrate self-control and self-control. You don't get caught up in the race to show off your skills or prove you're the best. Instead, you understand that staying calm and focusing on personal growth is the long-term path to true success. When you're not distracted by the bragging around you, you can stay focused on what really matters, your own growth and goals. So instead of responding to bragging, remember that strategic silence is a way to demonstrate mental strength. It's a choice that shows confidence and wisdom, and it helps you stay calm, focused on your goals and personal growth. Silence is not only a way to maintain self-respect, but also a way to demonstrate your own qualities and abilities through specific actions. When faced with anger, silence can become a safe haven that helps you contain strong emotions and avoid hasty reactions. Anger can make you lose control, causing your words and actions to become thoughtless. However, if you can keep silent in that moment, you will have time to think more objectively, thereby avoiding escalating the conflict and finding a constructive solution. Silence is not passivity or hiding emotions, but a deliberate choice to stay calm and in control of the situation. Instead of immediately reacting to the impulse of anger, you will have the opportunity to stop and analyze the root cause of that emotion. This will not only prevent bad decisions, but also help you come up with more constructive responses, instead of making the situation more tense. Always remember that the consequences of anger are often worse than the causes. A hasty word or an impulsive action can leave deep wounds that you will regret later. Keeping silent in moments of anger can help you avoid hurting others, and more importantly, protect your peace of mind. Anger is only a temporary emotion, but its consequences can last a long time if you do not control yourself. This silence is not a way for you to hide or suppress your emotions. In fact, it is a wise choice to respond in a way that best suits your best self. When you keep silent, you demonstrate maturity and wisdom, knowing that emotional reactions can lead to regret later. You understand that in moments of anger, if you can control your emotions, you will react more calmly and rationally, thereby building lasting relationships and solving problems effectively. Furthermore, using silence in anger is also a way to strengthen your inner strength. The more patient you are in difficult situations, the stronger and more steadfast you become. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of controlling your emotions, and silence is a great tool to do this. It not only helps you avoid conflicts, but also helps you maintain self-control and calmness in all situations. So when faced with anger, remember that silence is not a sign of weakness, but a smart choice to protect yourself and those around you from the consequences of impulsive emotions. Consider it an opportunity to think, reevaluate the situation and respond calmly and rationally, helping you maintain peace and find the optimal solution to all problems. Keeping silent in the face of false rumors is not a surrender, but a wise decision, built on a foundation of wisdom and integrity. When faced with inaccurate information about yourself, reacting hastily or justifying can only make the situation more tense and difficult to control. Instead of rushing to explain or refute every detail, keeping silent helps you maintain your composure and better control the situation. Stoicism teaches that we cannot control what others say or think about us, but we can absolutely control how we react and act. Therefore, instead of worrying or being upset about the rumors that may spread, we should focus on maintaining calm and steadfastness in all our actions. Remember, focusing only on factors you can control will help you maintain self-control and avoid letting outside events affect your life too much. One of the best ways to deal with gossip is to respond positively or simply keep quiet. Reacting negatively only complicates the situation and can lead to unnecessary conflict. When you remain silent or choose to face the situation calmly, you not only protect yourself but also prevent unproductive interactions from escalating. Silence is not a sign of weakness, but a demonstration of wisdom and self-control. Furthermore, living up to the ideals you preach is the best way to protect your peace and image. Your actions and values speak for themselves. If you live honestly, truthfully, and consistently with the values you believe in, others will see your true character. Gossip and false statements will gradually fade away as you maintain integrity and virtue in your life. So when faced with false rumors, remember that silence is not a defeat but a wise strategy. Keeping quiet and focusing on what you can control not only protects you from negativity but also strengthens your image in the eyes of others. Living by your ideals and letting your actions clearly demonstrate your true values is the most effective way to overcome rumors and maintain peace of mind. When faced with loss, Stoicism offers a unique approach to dealing with grief, seeing it as a natural part of the flow of life. Rather than avoiding or denying painful emotions, Stoicism encourages us to accept and understand that loss is an inevitable part of our life journey. Loss, whether it is the loss of a loved one, a relationship, or an opportunity, is always a part of the natural order that we cannot change. Silence after loss is not an escape from reality but an opportunity for reflection and healing. After a loss, sometimes what we need most is time to be quiet and face our own emotions. Silence during these moments allows us to be free from the pressures of the outside world, giving our minds and bodies time to recover. This is not a way to give up or not care, but a way to gradually accept and understand the loss, and open up a path to moving forward in life. In moments of silence, we can also look for meaning beyond the current pain. Instead of getting caught up in the sadness and sense of loss, Stoicism teaches us to look at the situation from a different perspective, looking for lessons and meaning in the challenge. The pain will gradually be eased when we understand that it is part of the process of growing up. In this way, we can find comfort in knowing that every loss brings us an opportunity to learn and grow. Reflective silence also helps us to face the pain more deeply. It is not just an avoidance but a way to truly connect with our emotions. Emotions will come naturally when we do not suppress or force ourselves to feel a certain way. It is through this silence that we can gain a better understanding of the fragility of life and appreciate the beauty of the brief and precious moments we have. Stoicism teaches us that pain, however unpleasant, is an integral part of life and can lead to a deeper understanding of life. Therefore, when faced with loss, instead of denying or ignoring our feelings, we should face the pain calmly, accept it, and let time and silence help us heal. Through this, the pain will gradually turn into a deeper understanding of life, helping us to live more fully and appreciate what we have left. When faced with the ignorance of others, we can use this as an opportunity to practice patience and compassion. Everyone has different experiences, perspectives, and knowledge, and sometimes ignorance is not malicious, but a difference in how we perceive a problem. When faced with this situation, instead of reacting quickly, we should learn to face it calmly and understandingly. It is important to remember that you can only control how you react, not the actions or thoughts of others. If others are ignorant, you cannot change them immediately, but you can choose how you respond. Being patient, understanding, and calm will help you maintain your integrity and create a more positive environment for dialogue where everyone can learn from each other. Silence in these situations can be a powerful statement of integrity and belief in the truth. Sometimes, overreacting or arguing only escalates the situation without resolving the issue. Instead of jumping into an argument, silence can be the best way to show that you don't have to prove anything, and that the truth will reveal itself over time. Silence is not a sign of weakness or avoidance, but rather a strategy that shows that you are confident in what you believe and don't need to make a fuss to defend your point of view. Furthermore, when faced with ignorance, remember that every conversation and every situation has its limits. You can't change others easily, so it's important to choose your battles carefully. Sometimes, patience and understanding are much more effective than trying to win every argument. Knowing when to speak up and when to listen is an important skill for maintaining good relationships and peace of mind. In situations where ignorance can be stressful, choosing to respond tactfully, patiently, and understandingly will help you maintain harmony while protecting your own integrity. When you face ignorance with patience, you not only help others understand better, but you also demonstrate maturity and wisdom in how you handle the situation. When faced with gossip, silence can be a powerful tool to change the situation. Instead of rushing to react or defend yourself, let your actions speak for themselves. Sometimes, silence and calm are the best ways to protect yourself, allowing you to maintain control and avoid unnecessary controversy. It's not what others say about you that matters, but how you react to it. Gossip can be a challenge, but how you handle it will determine your value in the eyes of others. When faced with criticism or misinformation, remember that you have control over your response. Instead of jumping into an argument to defend your reputation, stay calm and focus on what you can control, your attitude and actions. If what others say about you is true, this is an opportunity for you to reflect and change. Accepting your mistakes and making positive changes is a sign of maturity and commitment to personal growth. However, if the rumors are false, simply let them go and don't let them disrupt your life. Overreacting to untrue statements will only make matters worse. A calm silence combined with a firm commitment to your values and principles is key to maintaining your self-image and self-respect. When you live by your values and don't let rumors or criticism shake you, others will recognize your steadfastness and integrity. The rumors will gradually fade away as you continue to demonstrate positive qualities and actions in your life. So when faced with rumors, remember that silence is not a sign of weakness but of strength. Let your actions rather than your words speak for the truth, and focus on what you can control. What you do and how you live your life will be the clearest demonstration to others of who you really are. Calmness, patience and commitment to good values will always help you maintain honor and self-respect in all situations. When faced with injustice, Stoicism offers a profound approach to dealing with the situation, based on fairness and inner strength. Injustice can come in many forms, from being treated unfairly to social inequality or wrongdoing in personal relationships. However, Stoicism encourages us not to let these events derail our calm and reason. Instead of reacting with negative emotions such as anger or resentment, Stoicism teaches that we should focus on maintaining fairness in our actions and attitudes, while developing inner strength to deal with the situation. One of the key tenets of Stoicism is the recognition that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can absolutely control how we respond. When faced with injustice, our choice of response is our greatest power. Rather than letting the wrongdoings of others upset us and lead to negative reactions such as revenge or anger, Stoicism teaches us to stay calm and choose a wiser response. We can respond by staying grounded, showing calmness and understanding, rather than getting caught up in negative emotions. An important strategy in dealing with injustice is to focus on healing and unity, rather than seeking revenge or hurting others. When we are treated unfairly, it can be easy to get caught up in a cycle of hatred and hostility. However, one of the things Stoicism emphasizes is that forgiveness and inner healing will bring true peace and freedom. Instead of wasting energy on revenge, we can use our time and mind to heal ourselves and find positive ways to change the situation. Silence, in many cases, can be a powerful tool in the face of injustice. Silence is not submission or acceptance of injustice, but rather a deliberate act that demonstrates self-control and integrity. When faced with injustice, silence can become a powerful expression of steadfastness and wisdom. Rather than reacting immediately with frustration or indignation, silence allows us time to think things through, assess the situation, and seek a more appropriate response. Silence in difficult times is also a way to maintain dignity and not get caught up in unnecessary chaos or conflict. In situations of injustice, silence can also create a clear sign of personal integrity. Rather than responding to injustice with negative actions, we demonstrate inner strength through our ability to remain silent and steadfast. This is not about accepting injustice, but rather about maintaining dignity, not allowing ourselves to be changed by external factors. Silence is a declaration that we will not be drawn into wrongdoing, and that we will not react with resentment or hatred. Ultimately, Stoicism teaches that in situations of injustice, responding wisely and calmly will help us grow and mature. Instead of letting injustice damage our spirit and cause negative reactions, we can use these situations as opportunities to practice patience, compassion, and the ability to stand firm. When we face injustice with fairness and inner strength, we not only maintain our personal dignity, but also contribute to creating a more positive environment for ourselves and others. When faced with insults, Stoicism teaches us to handle them wisely, not letting negative words affect our state of mind and actions. One of the important principles of Stoicism is the recognition that our minds are intimately connected to provocations. When someone insults or abuses us, we are the ones who have control over how we respond. Any negative emotions such as anger or hurt only arise when we let ourselves get caught up in the other person's reaction, instead of remaining calm. It is important to realize that insults are not something beyond your control. Others can say anything, but how you respond is the only thing you can decide. Stoicism encourages us to not let other people's words change our feelings or mood. Instead of getting caught up in a spiral of negative emotions, we can practice staying calm and maintaining self-control in all situations. One of the powerful strategies that Stoicism offers is to remain silent when faced with insults. Silence is not a defeat or acceptance of insult, but a deliberate action that allows us to maintain our dignity and control our reactions. When you do not immediately react to insults, you not only protect yourself from negativity but also create space to think clearly and find a smarter way to handle the situation in the future. Silence helps us avoid unnecessary arguments and does not allow ourselves to be drawn into the provocations of others. In addition, remaining silent also demonstrates inner strength. Instead of having to prove something to others, silence shows that you do not need to justify or explain. A person who is calm and self-controlled will always show steadfastness in his actions, and this calmness will be the best answer to insults. Through this, we not only protect our own respect but also demonstrate that we are not easily influenced by external factors. When faced with insults, remember that nothing is more important than maintaining calm and wisdom. Silence is not submission but a powerful action that helps us maintain personal integrity. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can absolutely control how we react. And it is this calm, wise response that will help us overcome difficult situations without being hurt or mentally lost. Combining silence with wisdom and patience, we will be able to handle insults wisely, not letting negative words affect our lives and goals.